What's up, everybody? What's up, See You Scrapping? Billy? RT Jones? Let me just what's up, Naples Frank? I'm just trying to get back in the groove of doing live streams. What's up, John? I know it's kind of late and on a Sunday, and this is last minute. What's up, Living Off Scraps? I like that name. What's up, Jim, Matt, Cheryl? How's everybody doing tonight on this Sunday? It's actually warming back up down here in South Florida. We had like a whole week of really cold, rainy weather. And yeah, that was brutal for me. I lost my ability to withstand the cold years ago when I moved to Florida. What's up, Matt, David, John Daly? You watching football? Oh, I'm competing with Sunday Night Football. I don't pay attention to sports, so I have no idea. What's up, Badge of Shame? Michelle and Amelia, you're freezing. What's up, Romatic? You're in Pensacola? Yeah, I seen we had snow up in North Florida. People were out there making like snow angels and whatnot. Let me see my screen here. I know this is last minute, but if anyone wants to get on the stream with me, pretty sure I can have a couple people on here. I'd like to do that in future streams as well. And you know what? So I use StreamYard when I'm streaming. And man, just like everything else, they didn't raise the price, but they've taken some of the features. There's like a couple different levels, like 5 different levels that you can have. And normally I have the one that costs like $45 a month or whatever. And I haven't had it. I ain't paid for it in months. So I went to repay it so I can get on here. And now they don't allow me to have 2 cameras unless I get the $89 plan, which is kind of messed up. So unfortunately, I can't have 2 cameras anymore unless I upgrade to a better plan. But I can have people on here. Let's see who we got in here. Halifax, Nova Scotia. What's up, Garfield? Anthony, have you thought about buying aluminum cans from warehouses that recycle? Aluminum cans? I only sold aluminum cans one time, and I only did it because I was I made this thing. I took like a piece of square. It was actually like a square light pole, and I cut it about this big, whatever the stroke on my 25-ton transformer press was. And I made like this plunger, and in a space like this big, 4-inch by 4-inch, probably by like 8 inches or whatever, I compacted down a whole trash can full of aluminum cans into this really cool block. I probably should have just kept it, but I sold it to the scrapyard. I mean, to me, aluminum cans is like you need a whole lot of them to get anywhere. Um, my focus is more on copper stuff that weighs and pays. Um, unlike steel. Steel weighs, but it doesn't pay. Who else we got in here? What's up, Steve? So how much copper did I get out of the monster? I'll have, man, the last bit of that video, I had shot it in like 2 days, over 2 days, and I have like 4 hours of footage to go through, and it's not all from that because a lot of times I'll be in here doing stuff, and then I get sidetracked. So I'm doing like 2 things, sometimes 3 things at the same time. So I got like footage. I'm actually still finishing up that video. So you'll have to wait until that comes out. I'm probably halfway done editing that, but I know I haven't posted a lot of videos lately. It's because I've been so busy, like running around like crazy. And but I've been filming. So after probably, maybe Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to have a slew of videos coming out. I've been shooting a lot. I've probably got, I don't know, 12 videos ready to go. Or not ready to go. They need to be edited, but I've been shooting. I just haven't had time to edit. My editor has a bunch of videos on a hard drive, and I like the goofy song you use in all your videos. Don't stop using it. I'm trying to get like new music because it's I like to try to keep things fresh and bring something different to the table. Try OBS Studio. Okay, I'll look into that. Use a video switcher. It's external. Oh, okay. What's up, Anthony? Big fan. Got my own little shop. And I'm getting messages. The boss is calling. Oh, thanks, Jay from Tech. I mean, buying them from like Amazon warehouses. Oh, I don't know, man. I didn't know they had aluminum cans like that. I'll look into it. I mean, if I can get it on a volume where I can make some decent money, I'll you know, I mean, I get a lot of aluminum, but it's not like what I'm really after. But I appreciate the $1.99 donation, man. What's up, King Shin? Joshua, the scrap guy. What's up, man? They should produce a ton a month or so. Well, that I can get down with. Anytime you're looking at over 1,000 pounds of anything, 2,000 pounds. What's up, Cheryl? Do you remember when Canadian Treasure Hunter told you about using the hatchet? I need to tell him about getting a forklift. Yeah, I tell you what, man, that hatchet is, I mean, if you're a scrapper, dude, there's certain, you know what? I just watched Nice Junk did a video on like tools you should have, and I've been actually meaning to do like a video, the tools I think every scrapper should have, or just like every guy in general, but mainly like geared towards scrapping. And a hatchet is definitely on the list, man, because that is a definite game changer, time saver, and also having a forklift is a game changer and a time saver. I'm glad I got that thing when I did, because as soon as I got it, I just got slammed, man, like beyond slammed for like 3 weeks straight. And I haven't had, as a matter of fact, the uprights, I haven't even had time to fix them. They're sitting right there. I've been, every time I try to clean the bench, we wind up filling it up with more scrap, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it really doesn't leave time to catch up on all the stuff. What else we got here? What's up, Matt? When are you upgrading the splitter? Soon. After that last run with all them big stators where I broke the tip and I had to rotate it. I'll tell you rotating them is, it takes a little bit of time, but once you get going, it's not that bad. It is definitely better than cutting one end and trying to pull the copper all the way through, unless you're going to burn it, which I can't be burning every time I get that just takes too much time. And I got neighbors over here that don't want to smell that. It's probably not necessarily legal without a proper, like a furnace or whatever, or an incinerator. Now I do have the incinerator, and the guy backed out on the deal, gave me a deposit on it, and kind of just like trickled some money in, and then was like, there was a whole thing where he thought we agreed on something. He was here, I was here, and I met him in the middle. And then all of a sudden he was like, oh, I thought we agreed over here, and then tried to pay me even less than that. And I'm like, you know what, dude? How about I'm just going to send you your money back? Oops. My phone's over here blowing up as soon as I go live. Oh, that's Oliver. He was supposed to come work for me on Saturday. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to kill my battery. I can't keep up with all the comments and all the text messages. I'm going to have to shut my phone off. That's going to make some people mad. Anyway, so about the splitter, yes. What's up, Sanol? Or I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I'm kind of like slow. Big love from Poland, man. That's awesome. And I wonder what time it is in Poland right now. It's got to be either really early in the morning or in the middle of the night. Anyway, I have some steel that someone gave me the other day that is not heavy as I'd want it to be, but it's heavy enough to where I can build a dedicated splitter, a big boy, something 2 feet in diameter, 3 feet, or whatever the size I have those. And I think I'm going to make it to where in the future I can make it adjustable. I mean, ultimately, a 4-foot diameter splitter and stator wrecker. I'll wait till you see the final on that thing. I actually put the thing up on the table, and I mean, it was crazy. I literally had to chain it to the structure of the frame and pull the copper out. And it was, when I say it was a battle, I always kind of laugh when I get all the comments. Oh, well, just use a chipping hammer or just use a chisel. I don't know if the motors that I'm particularly getting are way more difficult or a different style than what anybody else is getting, but without burning them or using the hydraulics that I have, man, you're not just going to be hitting the backside with a chipping hammer or an air chisel and it's coming free. These are some serious stators. I mean, I don't know too many other people on YouTube that are doing 1,000-pound plus stators without burning them. Or, you know, some of them that I have, yeah, they were somewhat easy, but some of them without splitting them in half, I'm telling you, there's no way you're just going to be hitting them from the backside with a hammer or an air chisel and they're coming out without burning them. Man, you got to cook them. I'm watching my hydraulics kick in the low gear and pull hard, man. I'm hearing stuff creak. It's just the pinchers, the way they work is the harder you pull, the harder they pinch. I've had them pinch right through the copper. They're pulling so hard. And I get a lot of people sending me videos of like stator wrecking machines, and I appreciate it. I've pretty much seen them all, but I've seen that big one that's on a track that has basically the same thing that I got, but bigger, that's on a track. I've seen that not be able to pull them, and they've had to burn them, you know, because they didn't split it in half. The main thing is splitting them in half, man. Sorry if I go off on a tangent. Aluminum cans are half plastic. What? What's up, David Smith? I used to scrap myself. I don't have anywhere to do it anymore. That sucks, man. Try Epidemic Sounds. Yeah, I use Mix Kit and Ben Sound, but Ben Sound, you have to go to their website each time and download each time. It kind of got annoying, so I don't use them so much anymore. I have to clean my bench off tomorrow and reorganize the shop. I had a weekend fail to get all the Kydex holsters on order out. Kydex holsters. Are you talking about gun holders? Big John? Gun holsters? Are you making gun holsters? I never put the top back on that forklift. No, I literally just said it's sitting over there. I haven't had time. Man, as soon as I got that thing running and not overheating, it's been working nonstop. Like every day, man, that thing is getting use. Steve's back and forth. Like he doesn't live around here no more. But he does come down and stops by. You actually see him. You'll see him in the final. You'll see a conversation with Steve in the final video of that big stator. And he's in a couple other videos coming up, but he's not around all the time. But he's been doing, he's a mechanic. He likes mechanic work. So, the neighbor had him working on some cars. So he comes down, he works over there. He comes over here. He's all over the place. Would the jaws of life be on your list? Yeah, absolutely. Adam, for a scrapper, I mean, it depends on your level of scrapping and what you're going after. On my level, a hydraulic cutter and hydraulic spreader is an absolute must. Ryan, I'm a scrapper, started 13 years old. You're 27 now. Oh, good for you. Hey, what's up, Silverlicious? Thanks for stopping by, man. Crackmaster Concrete, what's up from Canada? Hey, man, I used to pour concrete before I came to South Florida. I was a concrete finisher. And then when I came to Florida, I was actually a concrete cutter for like 10 years. Worked for one of the biggest concrete demolition companies in the country. What's up from North Carolina? Why not go ahead and start recycling oil filters? Save money by not paying for fuel. Actually, I'm literally just looked at something. I have the oil filter press here, and I actually have a couple 100 gallons of oil that I've been settling, and some red diesel, or I'm sorry, regular diesel to cut it with. Slacking on the cleaning. Yeah, I'll get to it in a second here. Let me just answer all this. When will you do your large forklift? I'm trying to get to that, because now that I've been running that thing actually has a slight leak somewhere, and it still needs some work. I mean, I think that thing's from the 80s, late 80s or early 90s. It's been put through some use, and you'll actually see a video like in that stator video, in between me pulling that first one with the rotor. When I pulled that first one and I had all that big mess, in between that and the next video that night or the next day, whatever it was, I actually put a starter on that thing, and you'll see that video coming soon too. But the large forklift is I have to get that thing fixed, because one, I'm nervous that if this thing goes down, I'm going to be like struggling to move stuff around, because I've started putting stuff in those bins, man, and they get heavy. And then I've come to the capacity of that thing a few times already, and I need something. My other one's a 5,000, so it'll pick 5,000. This one's only like a 2,900, I think. Not watching the NFL pays off tonight. What's up, Lena? Ryan? All fan motors besides microwave seem to be copper. Fan motors? Not necessarily. I've come across a couple fan motors from the AC squirrel fans that were aluminum. I've come across some squirrel fan motors that, like, every other coil was copper and every other was aluminum. Man, they're doing weird stuff. I don't understand why, if you're going to do half copper, maybe it has something to do with the variable speed. Maybe on some speeds, like high, they're running the copper coils, and some on the low, they're running aluminum. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Canadian Grower 420. What's up, dude? Sticks and stones. You may want to think about making a tongs for the forklift. So you'll see in a video coming up. The problem with that is, with the way they're wound, like the coil comes up over here, and then it comes up on an angle and then goes back down over here. So it's not like you're right here and pulling straight up. I tried it with the forklift. I mean, when I split that thing in half, each one of those things weighed 2,000 pounds almost, or it was like, I think one was 1790 or whatever. They were heavy. They were almost 2,000 pounds a piece, split in half. And I was jerking up on it with the forklift, and all it did was pinch the copper over. It wouldn't come out. So I put it up on the machine over here, and we ripped it out with that. And it was it was kind of crazy. You'll see. Steve's doing okay. And the big motor videos, Canadian Grower, are coming soon. Do I have an accountant? I probably should. Are you an LLC or a C Corp? S Corp? Huh. I'm actually incorporated. I can pull copper windings out with a flathead grinder and a hammer. I've even done it. Grinder, snips, and a hammer, flathead. Do it all the time with AC compressors. Okay. So AC compressors, are, to me, the easiest because they live their life in oil. When I split them and I pull them, they are the easiest to pull. The easiest by far. They're lubed up, you know. Um, go find a 1,000-pound stator and try to beat it out like that. You're not going to have the same results. Like, I've literally broken my pullers pulling so hard on some of these things. And matter of fact, I think tomorrow I'm going to go try and pick up a whole Gaylord of AC compressors. What's up, Rick from Kentucky? You figured the deal with the incinerator would go out the door? Yeah, you know what, man? I'm going to keep it. To buy that thing, it's $34,000. I got it for free, so I got nothing into it but my time going to get it, you know? And so I actually can't see it over there. That red thing sitting on that's the end of a rotor. That's like the exciter coil. I put that in the machine. I couldn't get it to pull. That's going to get cooked. I'm going to cook that in the incinerator. Well, we got some cool things on the bench here. Got some copper, some brass, a couple little doodads or whatever. We'll get to that in a second. Oh, and I got some things over here. The only thing I can think of, they're right there, the white things. The only thing I can think that they are is some type of battery. But yeah, the incinerator. The only thing I don't like about it is it has a deep chamber, but it's like you got to load it in from the front. And I'm thinking about building maybe some type of rack that I can slide in and out. Kind of like when they burn bodies, they just slide them in on that thing. It's kind of creepy, but it's 2:44 a.m. in Poland. Wow. 2 a.m. in the UK. Dag, dude. Well, thanks for stopping by, man. There hasn't been anything I wasn't able to tear all the way down and process every bit of metal and separate it. I mean, doing it by hand, Ryan. Yeah, I mean, until I started getting into the bigger generator stuff, electric motors seem to be easy. Any electric motor that I've done, I don't think it's given me near the problem of the generator stators. It seems like once you get to a certain size, there's just like they really lay the glue in there, man. What's up, Jay White? Seems like sourcing steel is easy, but the hydraulics are expensive. Yes. The hydraulics are very expensive for the stuff that I want and the length, like the stroke of what I need, like the pulling thing I have. I think I got a 36-inch pull. I really need a 48-inch, like a 4-foot stroke. And then the up and down on my press, that thing, the 100-ton cylinder only has like a 7.5-inch stroke or whatever. I need like 4 feet. And those cylinders are very expensive for the tonnage that I want. It's all very expensive. What's up, Copper Man? Scrapping on the fly. You'd like to see someone do a big motor with a hammer? Yeah, me too, man. Without burning it. That's what I'd like to see. No way, not a big one. AC fan motors, I promise you. Yeah, AC motors. What's up, sliced rice? Yeah, I'm definitely working harder for the copper, but the the recovery for one unit is way up there, man. You know, what's up, Thomas? Too much slag in cans. That's why they don't pay very well. Yeah, I didn't think cans actually paid well at all. I thought it was like a dirty aluminum. Who else we got in here? Man, there's a ton of comments. How many people are in here right now? I can't see on this one. 137 people. All right, let me try to catch up on these comments. Thank you all for coming out here on a Sunday. I know this was kind of last minute. I didn't even announce it. I just want to get back into doing the live streams. And yes, sir, I make Kydex pistol holsters and parts trays. Oh, that's cool. What do you got, like plastic mold injection stuff? So I had a comment one day. When I was jumping on the scale, I said, oh, it must be my gun that weighs a lot. So I pulled my gun out and put it up on top of the manual scale. I had a comment go, oh, stupid Americans keeping the guns in your pocket. Just for the record, I carry my gun in a holster. Okay. It's not Kydex, it's leather, because I like it to conform, but I don't just keep my shit in my pocket. Anyway, and you know what's crazy about YouTube? So when you have your comments, you have comments that are like over here that say held for review or whatever. Now, I don't block anyone's comments unless someone's like talking crap consistently. I think I've only ever blocked one person, and they were going after someone else, saying, rude things to other people in the comments. It was just uncalled for and very disrespectful. If someone talks crap about me, I don't care. Go ahead. I'm going to post it on there and talk shit right back to you. But sometimes there'll be comments in there and I'll approve them. I always approve them. I don't care. But then I can never find them in the comments. Like YouTube's still hiding them or whatever, which I think is kind of grimy. Oh, and then back onto the incinerator. I was cleaning some stuff up here the other day, and I found a bucket of stuff we cooked in there. That thing melted the silver contacts off the copper, and I think it actually melted the silver. I'm not sure, but it melted a bunch of aluminum. I had a couple really cool puddles of aluminum. So I'm gonna try and do some cool things, melting some aluminum in there. All right, let me catch up on some questions, and then we're gonna go over here and see what we got on the table. Ryan, I can't be burning. The whole reason I built the stator wrecker and I want the ability to split them in half is I don't want to burn them. I can't, like, if I'm working here in the daytime, I can't just set a fire. I mean, that might be frowned upon from my maintenance, the people I rent from. They don't want me setting stuff on fire over here. And the neighbors don't want to smell it. You can't be burning stuff all the time. Now, the incinerator, that thing has an afterburner. So it burns in the main chamber. Then it has another chamber where it burns off fumes. And you really don't smell anything coming out of that. I can cook stuff in that. But I don't think I can put, maybe with my forklift, I'd be able to set a big rotor in there or stator. But it might, I don't know how strong them bricks are in there. That might be a problem. The thing is, I don't want to be burning it. I just want to use brute force and rip it out with the hydraulics for the most part. Now, I'm not, if it comes down to it, we'll cook it out. Scrapping on the fly. You're in St. Petersburg, Florida, over there in West Coast. Aluminum cans take 32 to 36 12-ounce cans to make a pound. Wow. You never done one where you need a crane or forklift to move? Yeah. How much is a new faster hydraulic puller? Well, it's the pump. It's the hydraulic power unit. What I need is like either a 5 or 7.5 horsepower 220 motor. Right now I got a 110. I don't even know what it is. I'm using the same pump that I use for my Jaws of Life, the 10,000 PSI 2-speed pump, which is very high pressure but low flow. I'm using that for the pull, and it's not right. It's the wrong setup. It's too high pressure, too low flow. What I need is lower pressure, somewhere around 35, 4,000 PSI, but high flow. Because most of the time when I'm pulling, I'm only hitting 1,500, 2,000 PSI. But then sometimes it'll spike up there and then just start, doing bad things. I blew the seals out on the hydraulic cylinder. But how much is it? It depends. Like, I have a pump and I have a reservoir. I just need a motor and some valving, which is all very expensive. And to buy something like that, you're looking at new, probably 3,000 plus. Oh, what's this? None of your beeswax sent $9.99. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Where was that? I didn't even see that. All right, let me run through this real quick. I know I talk too much. I get that comment on so many of my videos. You need to call the forklift your little mule. Yeah, I like that. I just call it the mini. That thing is a little mule, man. That's funny. Every time I hear mule, I think of that Clint Eastwood movie, Two Mules for Sister Sarah. Something else I wanted to tell you. What's that? The best things to scrap by far are transformers. I absolutely agree. Copper transformers, little ones, big ones. To me, if I could do nothing but transformers all day long, I wouldn't buy copper wire. I wouldn't buy light fixtures, electric motors, stators, none of that crap. I would just do big, giant transformers or little. Even if I could just do HID transformers again all day long, that's all I would do. I wouldn't even care about the big ones. If I could just have boxes and boxes of those and just run that press all day long, I'd be good with that. Oh, who's this? Matt Jackson. $5 for the new pump fund. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So I'll gather. Matter of fact, I pulled the reservoirs, the hydraulic reservoirs out, and I think I found the pumps. I'm going to gather up all the parts, see what I got, show you guys, get a game plan on getting some valving and a proper motor. I might even have a 220 motor in here. So we can get the cost down and not having to buy. We just need to get a couple parts. Let's see. Put motor brushes in your future silver pile. Motor brushes? Motor brushes are a low-grade silver alloy, like 90% contacts are lower. Motor brushes. Yeah, you know what? I just had a bunch in here. Wait till you watch the forklift starter video I got coming up, man. Matter of fact, I had problems, and Steve had problems. He had a problem on a starter on his truck. I had a problem with a starter on my forklift, and then he came over with another starter that we actually fixed. But yeah, you know what? I have brushes. I come across brushes all the time. Did I try popping the mercury bottles underwater yet? No, I still have them though. Gotta go. Oh, thanks for stopping by, Adam Stevens. Thanks, Silverlicious, for keeping it going. The gold guys that use mercury, amalgamated mercury, and the mercury absorbs gold. They always do it underwater. That way you can't oxidize and they don't get sick from the water, stops the mercury, I guess, from the mercury vapor. Wow. Interesting. Did Canada pass a law to make it legal? Just medical? I thought stuff was always legal in Canada. What applications do you get? The kind of wire you get? What applications? What do you mean? Like, what's the wire from? That would be, well, all kinds of different things. Like a lot of times the big wire that I get, they're like main feeds coming out. Like FP&L will have their high voltage, 600 volts or whatever coming in to a transformer. And then from that transformer, you have all them big cables. It could be a school. It could be a warehouse. You know, it's big industrial stuff, basically. What's up, Adam W? I was just searching for some gloves earlier, thinking about you. Appreciate it. Adam sent me tons of gloves, man. I use them all the time. Not as much as I should, but I've been getting better at it. Is Steve coming to visit soon? He might. Tax time is coming up. How does that look for you? Well, I was told years ago there's no tax on scrap. The forklift was a game changer. Yes, it was. Bring on the new videos. I'm jonesing for some copper pulling. Oh, yeah, we got some pulling coming. I think the incinerator is awesome. Yeah, I might keep it up for sale. I don't know. I might just use it. How am I making out with the aluminum ingots? Honestly, I haven't had time to mess with it. But I'm pretty sure that incinerator will melt more aluminum. Like I'll have to make like a custom thing. Or you know what? I do have a giant crucible around here. I'm gonna do a little experiment. We'll see if we can melt a big bunch of aluminum, because the big ingot that I've been using, or the big crucible, wasn't big enough for the ingots. I've actually I've been wanting, Copper Man, I've been wanting to get back on that. And I still got your ingot here, man. You and Jay Walter. I got 2 ingots for you guys. Plus, once I finally mill the perfect ingot, you guys will get you'll get 2 of them. The original one I poured that day on that live stream, and then you'll get a proper one. The weights on them motors is crazy. Yeah, I like the big motors, man. What's going on here? What's up, Finland? 3:58 a.m. in Finland. Wow. When you plan on starting your truck? Wow, you'll actually, in an upcoming video, you'll see something about that. So it's like the forklift, man. That thing was giving me problems And I got all nervous because, you know, if my forklift goes down, now I'm back to using like manual labor, moving stuff around. Same thing with my truck. I only got one truck on the road right now. So it's definitely time, because the other truck is, it needs some maintenance. It's leaking like the Exxon Valdez over there. And I actually ran out of fuel because my fuel gauge stopped working. Stuck on the side of the road at like 1 o'clock in the morning, which you'll see in an upcoming video. It was crazy. Unchained, what's up, dude? A rack with a V dent that slopes down towards the door to direct the molten aluminum. Yeah, that could work. Would you say that you've been putting more time and effort in processing those huge motors? Yeah, the return on the big motors is, I will say this, on the big giant stators, the rotor in the middle is worth more than the stator. And you'll see that coming up. You could do one with a commercial jackhammer. Do what? One of the big motors? It's not, a jackhammer's not really needed. And plus, you know, you start hitting a copper that's stuck really hard, you're just going to plow right through it. I don't know. So the machine that I seen, okay, that I'm trying to replicate, there's only like one proper one in the world. He didn't need none of that. No fancy stuff, wasn't cooking nothing. Okay. He split them and he pulled them. But he had proper hydraulics. His stuff was, he was geared up for what he was doing. He had a 4 foot wide, like I think mine is maybe 2.5 or 3 foot wide. His was 4 or 5 foot wide. He was putting big boys in there, man. And he was just yuking the copper out like it was nothing. He had the proper hydraulics. He had a big 220, probably 10 horse, whatever, man. Let's see where we at. I lost my place here. I'm trying to get through all these. I like to see what you guys are saying. I work too much. I need a vacation. Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna nickname you 2-ton ingot. Well, that's one of my goals. Oh, maybe I can do that with the incinerator. That's big enough. I could probably just weld together a giant ingot that slides in there and just throw aluminum in it and just keep burning it and letting it melt in there and pull the slag off the top. That's one way we can get a giant ingot. Cans have plastic linings? Huh. Yeah, I'm not looking into melting cans, man. I like some of the big, thick cast I get. What's the backstory on the sheriff taking my long guns? Well, actually, they took this gun right here. They took this one, another one similar to that, and this one. I actually made a video. I had to take that channel off of YouTube because they were throttling me because of some of the other content. But I posted all those videos on Rumble under the Free Human Project. And I go into the whole thing of what happened and how I was able to get my guns back and how they were threatening me with 15 years in prison and kept trying to get me to cop to some type of plea or deal where I would forfeit my guns, be on probation, and have to pay a bunch of money. In the end, I didn't pay nothing, and they gave me my guns back. And it took me threatening them, because they threatened me the whole time. Every time I went to court, they threatened me. I was just wondering what kind of PPE you're carrying tonight. All kinds, always. Stream starts glitching as soon as he's talking about a gun. Really? I need a shredder for all that cast aluminum. Yeah, especially like the big aluminum housings. It's just sheet aluminum. They're not always cast. I like the cast ones. Usually, one, they weigh more, so they pay more. And two, usually they have a higher grade transformer. Some of those cheap aluminum ones, no. But yeah, I would like a shredder. Tampa, what's up, Tampa? Kevin from Tampa. There's plenty of keyboard warriors in the comments. There's always keyboard warriors, man. Make a molten aluminum sluice that runs from the top to the bottom of the incinerator. Maybe. I think if I just pile, a matter of fact, I'm going to try that. I'm going to take my precision ingot maker, and I'm just going to put it in there and see if I can just put stuff in it and get it to melt right in the thing, so I don't have to move it and pour it. I could just open the door and keep feeding it until it fills up. I'm talking like a big one. We can just fill it up and see how that works out. Where do I go to buy lights from you? Lights? I don't necessarily have lights for sale. When are you getting new videos? I'm hoping tomorrow if I finish editing the one. I don't like dropping videos out of order, because a lot of times, like my last video kind of leads up into the next video. So if I start dropping like an easier to edit video, it kind of messes the timeline up. So I'm working on getting ahead. So DWF, what is that? I think you should try the pump off an electric plow. The problem with that is it's 12 volt. I'm not looking for, I need 220. I need power. You're not going to get the flow and the power out of a 12 volt system. I'm sure it would have the PSI. How much would a high flow pump cost? I mean, it depends on where you get it from and what you're getting. I got to take my hydraulic cylinder to my buddy over at Alpha Hydraulics to get resealed. And then I'm going to talk to him about, I'm going to show him what I got and what I need and where we need to go. He's got an awesome setup over. Maybe he'll let me film in his shop. He's got some really nice stuff for rebuilding, making cylinders, testing pumps. Holy crap. We got None of Your Beeswax with the $9.99. Matt Jackson with the $5. And then someone sent $20. Damien. And then someone just sent $99. Joseph. Dude, thanks, man. That's awesome. I wasn't expecting all that, but that'll definitely be all going to the new pump fund. Man, I must be way behind on the comments. You guys are killing it. I can't even keep up with you guys. Hold on. Use the truck like a concrete mixer. Keep talking. We love to talk. Don't listen to the clowns. Did I get any snow in my area? No, but we got a lot of cold, misty rain for like almost 3 days straight. One, it was freezing. I was literally wearing pants for a couple days, which is like, that is crazy. Okay. Two, it was like a fine mist all day long and freezing, man. It was tough. If it was any colder, it probably would have been snow. But we did get snow in northern Florida. Commercial battery UPS have awesome transformers, but they are bastards. Oh, let me show you guys this. I think it's a battery. I'm not sure what it is. I've never seen one. But I got two of them. And they're really freaking heavy. I think it's a battery. What do you guys think of that? All I know is I see extruded aluminum and all kinds of plugins. They say TRAN, TRAN. It says secondary. There's a button. Must use with Q volt 5, 12 volt, 24 volt. Some type of battery. I don't know. It looks like they just plug in or something. Or I don't know. 30-second trip, someone wrote on there. We'll tear into them in a minute. I like watching you work. You have a good work ethic. Man, I try, dude. I've always had a good work ethic. Any company I ever worked for, I always tried to make them look good because I wanted more work. You know, if you go out there, you're working for a company and do a crappy job, they might not call you back. They might go with your competitor. If I do anything with mercury, get some sulfur, can take care of any spills, makes the mercury safe. I don't think doing anything with mercury makes sense. I don't know, man. Mercury's like $3,000 a gallon. So I've always wanted to try to recover it. Matter of fact, for a while there, what was it? Thermostats back in the day used to have a little mercury thing in them. They're all electronic now, but I had a jar. Man, it was a little jar too, but it was super heavy. I don't know what happened to that thing. I've been at this a long time now. Do I ever get burned out on YouTube? Not scrapping? Man, I get burned out on everything sometimes. I mean, you can only go so fast and so far or so hard before you got to take a break. It's kind of like the last 2 weeks, like leading up to them, I was working day and night, man, burning the candle at both ends. And, you know, sometimes you just got to mentally take a break and just breathe. Now, and I always, you know, I'm always trying to stay up on the content and the comments, and I'm always shooting. I have plenty of content. I have to get a either another editor or someone that can be here in the shop, because the editor that I have has a full-time job and they kind of just do it part-time. And I knew that, you know, coming in. And sometimes it's like, you know, we miss each other or I'm gonna need something a little more consistent. Um, what's up, Northeast Iowa? 2 is 1 and 1 is none. Better get your backup fixed. Yeah. Have I ever considered investing in a smelter? Well, I have a small one. Um, when in doubt, break out the jaw. Yeah. um, where am I? Where am I? Did I go way back? What the heck is going on here? Who was in office at the time when they took my guns? Dems or Republicans? That's a good question. I'm pretty sure it was under Joe Biden. Joseph, thanks for the $1.99 donation. Oh, maybe I already thanked you for that. I'm way behind on the comments. Am I going to sell off that car? That car is not mine. That's actually my editor's. I actually looked at it. It has like the same coolant problem that my forklift had. It was rust in the block. Joseph, thank you so much for the $99 donation, man. That's crazy. I really appreciate that. And all the donations. I showed some lights on the top shelf and you said they work and were for sale. Oh, you mean some of the LED lights I have up there? I don't know. It depends on your application, man. Some of those lights are like for specific jobs and application. That's why I got them brand new. They were either the job changed, they were wrong orders, or they were just leftovers. Happens all the time. I like it when there's job changes and they get all the material in, they change the job and the company doesn't want to, it's not cost effective to take the stuff back, especially if it's custom stuff. So someone just eats the cost somewhere and they wash their hands with it. And the electrical contractor will get tired of the stuff sitting in their thing. They might try to sell it, but like I said, it's for custom applications. And nobody wants it, they get tired of looking at it. That's how I get a lot of that copper, man. I get so many comments. Oh, you could have sold it, like them big spools. Okay, yeah, maybe somebody will want it. But the problem is, if you got a job, like the way contracting works, from what I understand, is they want to see receipts and they want to see, like you have to warranty it. So if something happens, you pull in the copper in, or if there's an issue, man, you can't go buy used stuff or a half a roll, or even if it's a new roll from someone off the street and try to put it on a job and then there be some type of issue with it. You know what I'm saying? It just, that the contractors that I deal with, at least, they're not going to take that chance. They're just going to go buy brand new wire for this job and put it in. Maybe you might have some guy on the side that might be interested in it. And like the welding cable there, I probably could have found some welders that might have been interested, but they might have only been interested in 50 feet or 100 feet. I mean, I had, who knows how long that roll was, probably 1,000 feet. I'm not going to sit here and try to deal with 10 different people to get my money, to get more money. I want to deal one shot and be done, move on to something else, get it out of my shop, get it out of my way, and move on. So, yeah. Yeah, I do have light. Matter of fact, I need to go. Me and Oliver were actually cleaning the shop and going through stuff. I'm gonna get a bunch of stuff together and uh, maybe put it on my website. Where I sell my shirts. Um, you could granulate the motor windings and sell them for Bear Bright chops. Possibly. I don't know about that though, because even the little chops are going to have some a little slack. Now I had an issue when I first started chopping copper. Um, I was like, hey, whatever, man. We just throw everything in the granulator, and then we got copper chops. I didn't realize that there's different, like you got tin coated stuff. There, I sold a bunch of stuff to Miami as number one chops. They sold it to the mill, and they got rejected as number one and downgraded to number two because literally as they were melting, their machine was telling them, hey, man, there's all kinds of crap in here. And they were able to give me, well, they gave them a printout, and I had him give it to me so I can kind of find where the contaminants was coming from. They had on there was dirt, literally dirt from the floor, glass, and then there was this metal that I didn't know what it was. And after doing some research, I found that the metal was the actual that brown or gray coating that you see on the number two, like the transformer wires or any wire that has the tin coating. That was literally in the chemical breakdown of what they put. So I don't know if it would be considered Bear Bright. And also, the wire is not just like wire; it's thick bars of copper. I don't think the granulator is going to like that, or at least not my granulator. My granulator only like wire, and up to a certain size. You put some big thick stuff in there, it wasn't happy. Although my granulator wasn't really a copper granulator, it started its life out as a plastic granulator. And I just modified it. See you scrapping. Yeah, I remember you telling me about the 800-pound ingots, dude. That's awesome. I'm a hard worker. It's inspiring. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. An automotive shredder, dude. Where am I going to put that? Yeah, that's a little bit probably beyond my the scope of what I can have here and afford. I'm sure that's not cheap. An 800-pound ingot would tip the Mini over. um, yeah, it'd be nice if they abolished the IRS. I'm not going to talk about it here. I'm actually going to start. That's why I kind of want to get back into doing live streams on Rumble. We can talk about a lot more than we can talk about here. But there's some things that everybody should know about the IRS. We finally got above freezing yesterday in central Indiana. I don't miss that at all. For you guys that don't know, I'm originally from South Jersey. I was born in Atlantic City, and I 100% do not miss the winters. When I came down to Florida, I was like, why would anyone want to live in the cold? Yeah, I did have to bust out some emergency pants, dude. Matter of fact, I had to scramble to look for them because I don't wear pants, man. And it was like bone chilling here. It's a dead battery. That thing I just that thing I just showed you guys. It's a battery that runs electronics on the Batmobile. Um, Heated pants. Yeah. What's up, Shannon? I'm doing good. None of your beeswax. You're funny, dude. um, Kenneth, how I'd love to edit for you. So I need someone that can like be here and I don't even know how it's gonna work. Mercury is 2,300 a gallon. Is that dollars? That's crazy. Did I ever finish the alloy ingot? No. That's why I want to get back into doing live streams. I want to start pouring copper and aluminum live again. Mercury or Quicksilver, $40 per gallon, and it's approximately 76 gallons. I thought it was a lot more than that when I looked into it. How much would that be? Maybe that's $3,000. I don't know. According to Amazon, that item I showed is an LED driver. Take that wire and send it straight to the scrap yard. What wire? Oh yeah, the spools. Yeah, man. Man, we stripping all the wire that comes through here. I'm not trying to be a reseller. Matter of fact, I had a guy the other day come in here. I think his son came in here and tried to buy some breakers off Steve when I wasn't here. And then he came back, or his dad just happened to be driving by. Oh, thanks for the $10, King Shin. Globe or flat? It's not a globe. I would probably have to agree with you there. There's some shenanigans going on with that whole thing and NASA. We can look into that. Matter of fact, oh, I wonder if I can do this. I don't know if I should do this here. Maybe I can share a screen. Hold on a second. I hope I didn't just make you guys go away. Where's it at? So all right, I'm gonna have to do this on my other channel, but I have some awesome footage of the moon and a star. How's the cleaning going? Huh? Yeah. Hold on. Teach Steve to edit videos? Wait a minute. What am I missing here? Oh my God. Can you imagine Steve editing videos? I wonder if he can get on the phone. You have to clean the copper windings in caustic soda. You can also do that opposed to burning the stators. Hot caustic, they call it. Huh. See, I don't want to deal with chemicals. Um, I for like what I want to do on a volume, like I want to be able to do tons, okay? And I can't sit there and soak stuff like tons of stuff. You're going to have tons of chemical byproduct. It's just not I don't think it's necessary unless you have like for like a few things it would be necessary, but on the like 95% of the things um I think I can just get away with just brute force, you know? Let's see. Um the spools don't mess with trying to resell them. Nah, man. I put them on this machine and let them cook. Matter of fact, did y'all see the recent one I just did? Did I drop that video? Um, Steve is not my editor. I've never even, I don't think y'all even know. I don't think the editor's ever been on camera or, yeah, no thanks to working with chemicals. Um, when you're stripping a big spools, can you start a new spool for the stripped line coming out? Can I, when I'm stripping the big spools, can you start a new spool for the strip line coming out? I mean, you just, well, I'm not sure what you're asking there. Can I start? Oh, you mean wrap up the new spool? So, a couple things on that. One, you would have to have something that's matching the speed of the machine. Two, as it starts building up, it's going to want to be spinning faster than the machine. So, it's going to have to be like on some type of clutch or something where it can slip and just pull certain pressure. I don't think I dropped the video yet, but I don't. Can you guys see? Hold on a second. The gantry. I don't think I dropped that video. The gantry back there. I don't know if you can see, but it has a pulley on it. Wait till you see what we were doing with that. Um, and I'm working on. I have a great idea, and I mentioned something in the video about the idea to where I can split the wire coming out into two different things and then have it just go into two different directions and two different piles. But, you know, unless you're guaranteed you're going to get tons of spools, big spools, yeah, it's not really worth it, you know? Because you have to set that up. It's not like you could just feed it and it's going to automatically do this and that. You have to run a couple feet, place this here, place that there, and then run it like that. Now, if you see in that video what me and Steve did the spools, I had the machine. It's all about dialing in the machine. You always hear me talk about dialing in the machine. If you get it right, it'll separate in one pass. And what we were doing is pulling the insulation back over the top of the machine. That last roller was actually help kicking it back, and then the copper was just falling on the table, which was really nice because we just had to keep up with the insulation. So really, if I can get just one thing pulling the insulation up out of the way and off to the side into a bin, you just let the copper pile up on the table and just kind of every couple minutes drag it off into a box or whatever. Anyway, you'll see me talking about that in a future video. Did I get snow? No, that was just North Florida, Shannon. Let's see. How old am I? That's a good question. I think I just turned 41 or 42. I tried to stop counting. I need a shop dog. Yeah, that's right. I do. Have I ever made a video of the incinerator? Yeah, I made a video of me picking it up, the first time firing it up. I think we burned 2 things in it. Matter of fact, I got something right here. This was actually cooked in the incinerator. Maybe we should get over here and start scrapping and stop talking like everybody tells me on the internet. Hold on, man. Let me see where we're at. Okay. So, turn my mic over here. You guys lose audio? I did get some remote audio things, but I don't know how to hook them up. If we can get some elevation. We got some cool things on the bench over here. Okay. I don't know if I should try to move this thing or what. Still got audio? I don't know if I should try to just pick the audio up. You know what? Let me change the mic setting. I think I can change this mic so it picks up the whole room. Let's see that. I don't know if it'll change that in the middle of everything. But put the mic here. I plug my headphones into the mic. It's really nice. Yeah, 5 hours later. Listen, I work on my own time over here, okay? First of all, what do you guys think of this? It's like a lot of glue. Let's just check some voltages so we don't blow ourselves up. Probably should be wearing some safety glasses. Interesting. Nothing. Ground, neutral. Tap 1, tap 2. So is this that must be where the house power is coming in. Oh, here's a negative. We got nothing. 0.2? No. Okay. All right, let me find some safety glasses. Now, looking at this, I don't see anything that would indicate that these things want to come apart. Little rubber nipples. I mean, we might just break out the jaw and tear into it. This one's already half taken apart or opened up. Garbage. Cool little handle. Garbage. If this side looks any different. Try jamming my screwdriver in here, and all of a sudden this thing arcs and blows up. Good thing I got my safety glasses on. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know, man. I see copper. All right. Looks like we're gonna have to step this up a notch. Shout out to the Dollar Tree shopping cart. What do we got going on here? Ah. So when I originally bought these jaws, I thought they were 10,000 PSI systems. I quickly came to the realization that they're not. And I had to make an adapter. So we can safely run our 5,000 PSI system with a 10,000 PSI pump. Matter of fact, I took my original jaws of light to get new hoses put on it, and the guy refused to put 10,000 psi hoses on it. Okay. So we had to resort to our own system. All right. I got to get a paper towel real quick. One thing why I never liked being a mechanic, even though I'm really a really good mechanic, I hate grease and oil. Oh, I should probably put my gloves on. I end up with two. Looks like we're only going to wear one glove. We're going to do a Michael Jackson strap off. More copper. Nothing very interesting yet. Just did a big bite out of it. Oh, whoa. It didn't like that. Take a small bite. Belts of extrusion. Oh, snap. I don't know what that is. Oh, it looks like a big transformer or something in there. Look at that. No wonder it didn't want to cut through it. You got to take little bites. Little scrap nibbles. Oh, the big Toro transformer. Look at that. I thought it'd be a battery in there or something. Bunch of copper in there. Now, as much as I like transformers, I don't like these kind of transformers. They just don't seem like they have a lot of copper. We got into that pretty good there. I don't think there's much copper in this at all. Messed up. I got the wrong glove, man. Might as well clean this up while we're here. I think this got some copper. All that copper, man. That's got a lot of copper in it. Way more than that, it looks like. I don't think this is really worth breaking down. Just like encapsulated. Might be one of those when in doubt, cook it out situations. It's like a very, not very much strand. And then there's like a big wrapping in there. I don't know. We're going to set that to the side for the incinerator. All right. You know what that is. Let's deal with this real quick. Got a ton of copper, man. Look at all that copper. How that beat that up. See if I can't get this to cut it off. I might just have to hit it with the grinder on the corner, or let the jaw rip it out. Oh yeah. Jaw for the win. Oh, look at that. It's like that ferrite, or it's not even like that ferrite stuff. It's more like sheet. Aluminum. Oh, it's like confetti. We're having a party over here. Look at it. I throw that with the prepared steel. Anyway, got a couple more nuggets. I'll get them out later. We'll probably just pull that off. Oh, something I wanted to show you guys. I found, you'll see in an upcoming video, I I hate working on a mess, but just works up a little clean area. Check this out. I found tons of this in a bag. I took out a bunch of them. Here's one out of the bag, right? Here's another one. A couple more. I'm not sure what these were for, but I think they were for a system that would have been great for like this building where you have multiple bays, different tenants on one, what do you call it? 1 meter can. And it's just a bunch of different breakers. You just tap into like the main feeds with these. This is 800 amps. This is 100 amps. So this would have been good for my building. I got 100 amps. Where's my, I gotta find a knife. Thank you, John Daly. I use this thing all the time. So these things, my hammer. These things just basically pop right open, and they got a nice little nugget. Piece of wire, some number 2 insulate, and a nice nugget of copper. Right? Now look at these ones. These ones are even better. Look at that. Oh, there's just a, basically just held together with a zip tie, right? And then they just fall apart. Some of the easiest copper recovery, I had a whole pile of these things. Oh, I heard something out there. Shenanigans going on. Anyway, what do you think of that? Right? That's prepared steel. I got a whole bunch of that. Oh, check this out. All copper light. Except for that. Well, this bottom piece looks like it's brass. And that looks like it's cast aluminum. Have to do a little liberation. A nice chunk of copper right there. A little steel there. Might be stainless. I don't even know how they got that on there. Be nice for a meltdown. Oh, look at that. Nice copper recovery. Brass That's a heavy chunk of brass right there. I'll send that with the clean brass. Yeah, let me get that aluminum off there. That's actually brass down in there. More brass. Look at this thing. A bunch of crusty wire. I think I cooked a bunch of these. Bunch of brass and copper. Wow, that's crazy. Hey, down inside there was a fuse. How would you even get that out of there? That's like molded in there. There's like no way you could have got to those fuses. So if your fuse blew, you'd have to replace this whole thing. Oh, that was a big chunk of brass that cut through. Look at that. Okay. What do you guys think of this stuff? I know it's like stainless and copper. Whatever it is, it's non-magnetic. Oh, no. Didn't like that. I think I'm going to throw that in the stainless pile. I had to cut that with my saws off. This big old brass light, man. See if we can't get this thing apart. These things are amazing. John Daly got these for me, and I use them literally all the time. Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh, we got it. Thought I stripped it. Man, that's the thing with scrap. Sometimes you only got one shot to get it out. Make sure you're seated well. This is tough. Oh, that one come out. You guys hear me? Are we still live? Huge chunk of brass. I don't know about that. Oh, full of nasty water. Look at that. That's cool looking. Like a brass honeycomb. Oh. Okay. Some type of lens. Huh. That looks like we got really smaller bits. Hearing voices outside. It's getting over to my microphone and my headphones. All that dirty water. Oh, snap. Oh, look at that. There's a little transformer in there. Ton of water. Hold on. Gotta go dump this out. Jag. This thing is like really thick, solid brass. And that's like brass things on it. Being that brass is partly copper, I'm okay with leaving the copper wire in there and not having to take this whole thing. Oh, actually, I don't even think it'll come apart anymore. This thing probably weighs 10 pounds, man. Okay. My one glove. You know, I think that's probably going to be it. I got to go get some buckets from outside. And I think I just made more of a mess than actually cleaning off the table. So, Oh, I got, the guy was saying about brushes. We got some brushes in here. I know for a fact because I just did a bunch of these. No. You'll see in the video coming up where I tried to repair my oh, there's your problem. I don't know how well that's coming through. Man, she is cooked. That's interesting. So this is a star. I don't know where my star bits are. Maybe I can just get it off of the wire. Like them weird. Oh, the whole thing just came out. There's some. That's what you guys are, or that guy was talking about. Silver in the brushes. You'll see in an upcoming video. We actually repaired one of these, and I attempted to repair the starter on the forklift, but I decided to go with a brand new one with a warranty because where I think I could have repaired what was wrong with it, it would have been like a last ditch effort, like if you couldn't get a starter, and who knows how long the repair would have lasted. I think it would have lasted a while and been okay, but I didn't want to have to go back in there. And as much as I use it, I just opted to go get a new starter. But it's an interesting video. You'll see that coming up. Now these things are loaded with copper. Okay. Okay. I'm going to take a break from that for a second. Let's see. Let's come back over here. I'm really upset that StreamYard is up in the thing to have two cameras, because I liked it when I was melting the copper. I liked having a melt cam on the copper. I got all kinds of debris on my computer. Yeah, I really liked having a melt cam on the copper. Look at all this glitter, man. It looks like I was at the strip club. Okay. Check my phone over here. That's funny. Okay. Take these glasses off. Oh, I wanted to show you guys. So my GoPros, I did get 2 new GoPros. This is my original one, the first GoPro I ever got, and this was the beginning of the longer videos. I used to shoot everything on my iPhone. Literally, this beat up, cracked up. You can see the cracks. This iPhone is probably on its 4th or 5th screen, and it's pretty much on its way out. But that's what I started YouTube with. But then it couldn't handle. This is the first GoPro. It's lasted I forget when I got it, probably 3 years. It's missing the side, and it's missing the whole button. That thing is moving around in there. It's like wiggling. I literally had to use a pen, excuse me, or something small to get in there to turn this one on. It was still working. It's still got a good lens I can use. The GoPro 10, which was my second one, missing the side button, worked a little bit better than the other. Completely missing the top one. I put a piece of tape so it didn't get dusty. Completely shattered the back glass. This one actually still works. In that the last video I dropped where you seen the spray of molten metal come down, I put this on the ground and put a piece of plexiglass over it. So even though this is beat up, it still kind of works. The display is trashed and barely. So I'm going to use this for sketchy shots where the GoPro may not survive the shot. This is the main GoPro I use now. And I like these clips. It's a clip with a magnet. I can just magnetize it to something or clip it right to my gantries. But this has the media mod, so I have the better audio and a light that seems to want to turn off after 2 minutes if you have it on high. If you put it on low, it lasts a little longer. But it did sit around for a while because I bought it and then I never had a case to run them. So at least now it's in a case. I've already dropped this a couple times, but it hasn't broken the glass. And then I have the other one with the wide angle. And I have kind of the same little universal setup. But I just got the new 2.0 wide angle. So on all the time-lapse shots, I use a super wide angle lens, and you can see the difference there. Okay. And that lens is not cheap. Okay. The new 2.0 lets me shoot in 4K with the wide angle. The original one, which has taken some serious abuse, and if you look at the lens, it's probably not going to come. It's just dinged up and scratched and got all kinds of chips in it from it falling and hitting the ground. You can't get, I don't think you could run the hyper smooth or 4K. So now all of my footage is going to be in 4K or above. These new GoPros shooting like 5.7K. But the only problem with shooting in that is, one, unless your TV or whatever you're viewing on has the ability to view in 5K, it's not really worth it. And two, it takes forever to render those videos from Premiere Pro, and also to upload. Literally, like it takes like 8 hours to render a video. So I stopped shooting in 5K and then shooting 4K. But I always try to bring you guys like good quality content. Let's see what's going on here. Am I from Alaska? I need to get some Milwaukee. I mean, it's probably all made in China in the same plant. I don't think it really matters. We're talking about some Milwaukee. Oh, there's a lot of people in here. Okay. I'm gonna just get to the. Yeah, cleaning off the bench live didn't go so well. I think I just made more of a mess for myself. No, but I'll clean that up later. It's pretty much most of the stuff on there now is ready to go. The cats, the neighbor gave. I have a bunch of them. I've never actually sold cats before. There was a company in down the road from one of my customers that they started out specifically buying cats. They're like the guys around here. So I'm gonna cut them all up and take a little pile over to them. That guy, he used to come to my old shop and try to buy my copper. Um, the boot review is pretty funny. Yeah, man, I got my boots on right now. Bam. It's so funny. I dropped that video and some guy's like, "Oh, you sold out, unsubscribed." Well, how did I sell out? Because they sent me a pair of boots. It took me 2 years to do a review because I wasn't sure I wanted to review a boot made in China. You know, I mean, if you have a phone, a smartphone, or a computer, most likely something in that was made in China. If you have a TV, most likely it's made in China. So it's like it's. I don't like it, but it's the world we live in, man. Um, I beat the crap out of them boots for 2 years, and you know, literally up until the day I cut them in half with the jaw, I was wearing them, even with the talking tongue over there. Uh, a lot of YouTubers are leaving Streamyard. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, I was kind of like upset when I seen that today because I got glitter in my beard. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be real and I'm gonna answer some questions to answer. My mom's in here somewhere. Yeah, it's like I originally, I was on the free plan. You StreamYard lets you get on a free plan. But I was paying the $49 or whatever it was a month so that I could have multiple people. I'd really like people to get on here with me and talk, keep it going while I'm doing something in the background. Um, and other scrappers, man. If you got a scrap channel and you want to get on here and promote yourself and talk to people and let everybody know what's going on, let me know, man. I'll send you the link. You can get on there with me. Um, but yeah, it really sucks that they took the main thing I wanted was two cameras. They took that and now they're making you pay like an extra $30 or $40. It's ridiculous, man. Hi, Sandy from Alaska. Huh. That was totally awesome, like the 4th of July. Hey, man, you should have seen the one where I almost blew myself up on the live stream. That was with Nice Junk was on there with me. Oh, him. I think it's Nice Junk and Scrap It All. And then another guy that I never even heard of. I think it's on Wednesdays. They do a live stream. I called them on my way to Miami. I literally listened to almost the whole thing. So I think they did 2 streams so far. Just some scrappers talking crap. So go check them out. He said he wants to come back on one day. I'd hope to get him on. I liked when he was on that stream. He literally saved me from blowing myself up. There's all kinds of stuff. That sounds insane. Chop was, I don't know what you're talking about there. Love your channel. We're here for the sketchiness. Yeah, it does get kind of sketchy around here sometimes. Money is number one. Sketchiness is number two. Safety is number three. Hey, man, I should get a shirt that says that. You from Alaska? Oh, did I already answer that? No, man. I was born in South Jersey, and I reside in South Florida. Inspired me to start flipping motors and transformers. What are some other sources other than scrap yards to buy from? Um, Electrical contractors, man. That's pretty much where they come from. The people, um, the people changing the stuff out. That's where I get all the old ones from. They're electrical contractors. But you gotta come with a correct price and a good pitch, because most likely, and I've said this in all the streams, that's the number one question I get. Where do I get my material, or how do I get customers? Most likely, if they've been in business for a while, they have a relationship with a scrap yard or a scrapper already. So it's going to be tough. It's like an uphill battle. So you got to really bring your A game and, offer something that they may not, just offering a free pickup or helps. I mean, there's a couple things that I do. We'll get into someday. It's kind of coming to an end, so probably I'll get into it sooner than later. That's why I'm really, in South Florida, the generators is really big. Maybe not so much in other states, and AC scrap is really big because it's hot all year round down here, pretty much. So scrap it all, nice junk, and HH Recycling. Yeah, that's the other guy. I never heard of HH Recycling. I haven't. I'll have to check him out, see if he does anything on YouTube. I really don't. I'm subscribed. I mean, if I see someone a scrapping channel, I'll subscribe to you. I'm subscribed to pretty much all of the scrap channels. I like to support the people in my my trade and other people. I see you guys all in my watching my videos. I dip in to some of the it's hard because I don't have a lot of time. So I can't sit there and watch everybody's video. There's tons of people on YouTube. But I try to see what everybody's doing, and not only, well, one, it's good to see what, like, as a content creator, you want to see what other people are doing. I don't like stealing ideas from other people. Like I just said, Nice Junk did a video about the tools, for new scrappers or whatever. That's a video idea that I've had for a while. I just, for me, it's time. Like, there's a bunch of videos I'd like to do for you guys. It's just, I usually video what I'm doing in the moment, and it's like, there's so much more I'd like to do. It's just a lot of the times I'm a one-man show over here, and trying to keep all of this going by myself is a daunting task. I watched Non-Ferrous Jeff. He's in Orlando, works at a scrapyard. They have their own gang over there. I've heard of Non-Ferrous Jeff. I haven't seen anything. So does the scrapyard lets him, they let him actually show the scrapyard? That's another video I've been wanting to do. Um, like I want to do a day at the scrap yard. There's a place I sell to, they're an exporter. They own 2 scrap yards in South Florida that they literally buy from themselves, and other scrap yards sell to them. But I wanna do, like, what it's like to work at a scrap yard. So not none of your beeswax. The problem with that is, I'm not in the Orlando area, and then if I'm in Orlando, um, I'm usually picking stuff up and I'm trying to haul myself back down to West Palm as fast as possible. And as you can see on my channel, I get a lot of questions about like the dirty scrap and stuff like this, or like why I leave iron in the aluminum. Every time I go to another scrap yard, or I mean, that guy, maybe they'd be a little more lenient on it, but like when I here's the thing, when I go sell my scrap, I don't have a guy sitting there. Matter of fact, I'll show this in a video. I don't have anyone sitting there. I pull up, I tell the dude, hey, I need big bins, little bins, whatever I need. The dude goes and gets it, puts it by my truck, and then I'm just left by myself. I sit there, I sort the stuff myself, I put it in the bins, and then uh, he takes it over to the scale. And then I sit up there at the scale thing with the dude. As the dude's putting it on the scale, I tell him what it is. He doesn't even look. I mean, they don't even, you got to have a good relationship. I have a good relationship with them. They know I'm not. Now, sometimes I do skirt the limits with the aluminum, but I look at it as the overall load, man. If I'm sitting there, I'm tearing something down and there's a big chunk of metal on it, and it's just going to be a lot of work getting it off. You could throw it in the smelter or iron aluminum, but I got 1,000 pounds of aluminum. This 2-pound piece of steel or this 1-pound piece of steel is going to be within the 30 pounds of steel that I'm allowed in my mind in that load. That's the way I look at it. And not all scrap yards are like, they'll like, I've had them like that one situation with SA Recycling. Those guys were like, they were nitpicking everything, and it was just stressful for me because I'm used to just rolling up, sorting my stuff, getting paid, not having a hassle, and getting out of there. And you know, I'd rather just take my stuff to Miami. To be honest with you, and I don't know if they'd pay me the same price. That's another thing, or maybe they will. I don't know. The guy with the down payment on the incinerator? Yeah, I mean, we went back and forth for months. And then finally, um, you know, he was doing some weird stuff, trying to send me less money. And I just told him, I'm like, dude, I'm over it. I'm going to send you your money back and keep it. Um, Clean sheet in Illinois is 230 a ton. Clean sheet steel or aluminum? I don't care about like steel. To me, that's not even like, I don't even factor it into anything really. You're not interested in a business partner looking to buy a machine. Jay from Tech. Are you the guy that keeps wanting to buy a granulator? I want to buy a granulator and become in a business. Listen, man, here's the deal with me and business partners. I've probably tried to have 4 or 5 business partners and they just don't work out. It's never worked out for me. Okay. Now, unless someone's going to come over here uh, and like buy half my company, I mean, maybe we can talk, but I just, I don't know, man. It's hard too because I've been like a one man band pretty much since I started. So it's like 13 years of me just doing this by myself, not having to deal with other people. And I don't know. It'd be nice. I mean, the right situation, I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not looking to like sit here and work for someone. And that's what it always seemed like it turned out to be. They just wanted to collect a check. And, I need someone that's going to do pretty much like, if you could do what I need is someone that's mechanically inclined, knows everything. I don't want to train anybody. It's just, it's even with like labor. I got a hard time, even with Oliver. He's a great worker, but he needs to be trained. There's a lot of things, even though he's been working with me for 3 years, like that he doesn't know or understand, and like for the most part, for the stuff that's repetitive, he's got it down to a science. That's why I keep him around, and he's a good worker. I can put him on something, and he's just going to work. He puts his phone in my office. He's not on his phone, and he hustles out here. But like problem solving and thinking outside the box, that's something that's like hard to come by. Even like with Steve, man, he's on the same page with me with a lot of things. But one, he's not in the scrap. He doesn't understand like where to stop, what to do, what not to do all the time. And it's tough because I make most of my money on processing scrap, upgrading it. So, um, you know, that's always a thing. Daniel, you want to say you love the wire stripper I have? Yeah. Um, I'm hoping, man, I'm hoping this year that I'll have a little bit more time to actually finish modding that thing, fix the things that are wrong with it, and then actually build the machine that I see in my head. Because that machine is great, but it can be way better, way more efficient, way easier to dial in. He runs the scales. You talking about the dude in Orlando? Oh, his uncle owns the yard. Being self-employed is tough. Yeah, and you know what? Um, I had a great job working for a huge company. I was like one of their best operators. They did not want to see me go, and I did a lot of work for them on the side. Like after I left, what's crazy is I never quit and I never got fired. I just slowly stopped working there as I started gaining more and more business of my own. It went from like, it started out, I worked for myself 1 day a week and worked for them 4. Then it was like 2 days and 3. And then it was like, basically, I would only do the big night jobs where they would shut the highway down or they were running the wire. That we had a huge radio controlled wire saw or the curb saw that would cut the side off the bridges. Um, big jobs where they needed someone that was going to get in there, no BS, get the job done, make the company look good. And for years, my old boss would call me, ask, "Hey, do you want to go here? Do you want to go here?" When I worked for that company, I went out of town all the time, all over the country. The last time he called me, he wanted to send me to Alaska, and I was like, "Ah, I'm good with that cold stuff, man. No, thank you." Um, but I am grateful, and you know, that I've in 13 or 14 years now that it's been that I've worked for myself, that I haven't had to go back to working for someone. or pick up a second job. I'm still doing the core thing that I left my main job for, work for myself, even though they've basically disappeared. I'm still doing recycling, and I'm not even as tough as it's been the past 2 years in this shop by myself with the ridiculous amount of rent I pay. Um, I'm still working for myself, and a lot of me still being in the shop has to do with you guys, for the money I make from YouTube, and I really appreciate that. Um, I really appreciate the people that donated. Someone else just donated $9. Uh, oh, his guy wants to buy a granulator for me. I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe think about it. Email me, Project Shop FL. Um, you can get my link to my email on the thing, and leave your number there. I'll give you a call. Um, the yard sucks here in central BC because they won't take shred and bad prices. They won't take shred. Um, I just lost my train of thought too. I oh Yeah, even the people that you can't afford to donate. Just you guys watching and liking the videos and commenting, man, I appreciate that so much. You guys have no idea. Um, and it's starting, like I said, maybe this year I can finally get back into the actual projects that I want to do, because some of them are really cool. The ideas that I have, um, some of them will absolutely blow your mind. I mean, it's next level stuff. It just takes time and money. Okay. And when you're stressed for time and money, because like your main source of income goes away at the same time, you go from like less than 2,000 a month in overall bills to my bills are over 7,000 a month. Like I need to make 7,000 just to pay my bills. That's not including paying Oliver or labor or anything that comes up, which for one person is a monumental task. And the YouTube definitely helps with that. So I will forever be grateful for you guys. Um, oh, none of your beeswax. You talking about just going there and saying hi? What? You know what? If I'm in Orlando, um, yeah, I'll try that. I'll look him up on YouTube. Non-ferrous Jeff. See where he's at. I actually have a job. I was just up in Melbourne, and I think I have two or one job in Daytona coming up. So maybe it's two jobs in Daytona. So I might be up in that area. Arizona has bad prices. You know what's crazy? It's like I don't understand the prices. Maybe it's a logistics thing, but like the Comex Copper Exchange, where they trade copper, is a certain price. Why is it not like across the board, everybody getting a decent price? It doesn't make any sense to me. Or maybe because some of the yards, they're not selling directly to a source, they're selling to a bigger yard that's then selling to a source or an exporter, you know. I don't know, man. Scrap business is funny sometimes. The yard I go to takes brass breakage for $1.60, and they take doorknobs. Doorknobs have a lot of iron in them, steel. He made the hatchet famous. You talking about Canadian treasure hunter? Yeah, dude, that's like a game changer. Adam Reed, is that another $99? Holy crap! Hey man, I appreciate the crap out of that. $99 donation. I know I haven't made videos on the water sluice with the shredder. Just wanted to hear you talk about your ideas about it again. Dude, I think about it all the time. Man, dude, I can't believe you got another guy sent $99. That's crazy. Thank you so much. And then Brian T. Hand, sorry if I butchered your name, $20 super sticker. I don't even know what a super sticker is, but man, thanks. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Yeah, the idea I have for a new sluice is next level, and it's so simple, and it's something I haven't seen anywhere, and it all came from when I really wish I said this before. I really wish I would have had a YouTube channel when I was building the first one. I wish you could have seen the first time I put a piece of expanded metal in a piece of U channel and washed it with a hose. I didn't have recirculating water. I just used a hose. And from that, it just got one more thing and one more thing. And then the coolest thing was the way I separated the water from the plastic at the end, how I built that and how that all came about. But what I have in store for the next thing, it's a time thing, man. I'm trying to do 100 things at once. And it's like when you got something right in front of you that needs to be done, and then it puts the other little things behind some things just get put on the back burner. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there with projects that have been sitting in the corner for a while that they'd love to get to. And I have lots of projects in the corner. I like scrapping videos. Don't care how long the video is. Daniel, I wish everybody was like you because I get tons of comments about how my videos are too long. I talk too much. I've probably been talking too much in this video. Where are we at? I think I'm missing all kinds of comments. I don't know, man. You guys are killing it over here. I'm a sheet metal worker for 30 years this year. The amount of metal that gets thrown in a scrap bin at the shop is ridiculous. Yeah, man. You know what? When I was cutting concrete, it wasn't until probably the last year that I was there that I realized that there was money in scrap. For like 10 years, I did heavy demolition, dude. I mean, we brought down buildings, we brought down bridges. You wouldn't believe how much wire is in a bridge. On the sides of the bridges, usually it's in the barrier wall. There's a conduit pipe like this big. They run all the wires for the lights. Sometimes they're running power from one side of the bridge to the other, either in the bridge or under the bridge. There's conduit. And I've cut tons of bridges, and I didn't know. I used to see wires, they crane it off and throw it over to the side and throw it in a dumpster or whatever. I had no idea. Towards the end, when we cut the sections, I'd reach over there and I'd grab the wires and pull them out of the conduit, roll them up in my truck and take them. And then just being on job sites, you know how many times I've cut through big mains, copper mains, or cut through copper pipe in the wall. One time I was downtown West Palm Beach cutting in the basement of a hospital, and we were never responsible for laying out the lines. Like if the contractor was like, "Oh, measure from here to here," I'm like, "Nah, dude, it's not my problem. You lay it out." You know, it's actually in our contract that we're not responsible for laying out, because if we hit we're not responsible for utilities, any of that stuff, because we're just there to cut the stuff. It's your job to know where all the stuff is. And dude, I've cut through live 480 stuff. I've shut down emergency rooms in the hospital. Whole wings went down, cutting through power. But one time I was cutting in the wall, and there was a water main, and then there was a T, and then someone had put a little nipple at the end, of a little tiny nipple. And my saw just shaved that nipple. And all of a sudden, I didn't even have the wall down yet. I was cutting a huge opening. All of a sudden, I'm cutting down, plunging in 8 inches. Water just gushed out of the cut line. And everybody standing around, nobody knew what to do. And I'm like, well, I'm going to finish cutting the wall down so we can see what's going on. They're in a panic. They can't figure out how to shut it down. It's flooding the basement of the hospital out. So I hurry up and I finish cutting, and I drop the wall and expose what's going on. And then by the time I cut it, it's shooting across, right? Like high pressure, just shooting across. It's the main coming in from the building. And I got all these inspectors and the contractor standing around. They don't know what to do. So I had like a piece of wood or something. I grabbed it. I somehow got a small slither of it, and I stuck it in there and just smacked it with my hammer. And then it stopped it to where it was just, slightly dripping. And the inspector's like, well, that's not, you can't do that. And I'm like, dude, I stopped it. What's your problem? They literally had to shut down the whole block because there was no cutoff for this. They had to shut down the whole block like 2 days later. That piece of wood stayed in there for 2 days. Oh man, I had all kinds of crazy stories cutting, but I watched so much copper. And towards the end, you know what? I actually got some of my first customers recycling from cutting through power lines in the slab. We'd call an electrical contractor to come in and fix it. I'd go over there and talk to them, say, hey, man, I'm buying this. Do you guys do this? At the time, I was strictly looking for transformers. So they're like, yeah, dude, we've been throwing these things away for 20 years, man. It was like shooting fish in a barrel 15 years ago trying to get transformers from customers. Let's see where we're at. Here's something out there. It's probably the cats, man. That crazy cat. We got a crazy cat lady that comes. I don't know how she found, like, we're back in like a little nook. There's no way that, I don't know how she found it, but she comes from like Miami, which is an hour and a half away, and she has a route, and she feeds all these cats, man. And they're always climbing all over my crap out there and sitting on my car, and it's crazy. Is YouTube money covering most of the shop? Not most of it. Sometimes half of it. Sometimes, I covered it almost all the way once. I missed Adam. Read the donation. Adam? Oh, yeah, the $99 donation. Sorry, I'm behind on all this, man. Yeah, y'all know I talk too much, man. I'm just here talking away, man. I'm like slightly retarded. I can't talk and read at the same time. I could do better doing gold. Yeah, I'd love to mine some gold. Today, the weather down here is wonderful. I'm in a t-shirt and shorts. Let's see what else we got. The yard I go to has been paying $3 for number one copper for months now. The price has not budged. That's crazy because they're probably buying it really low, and the market fluctuates. Where I sell, they don't like. I could buy copper today or sell copper today. Let's just say $3.50 a pound. Tomorrow morning, I'll go there. It could be $3.40 a pound or $3.60 a pound. Literally every day, they go by what the market is that day, which is crazy. Like I know some yards they'll get locked in on a price, and they'll buy all week at a certain price or whatever. Your yard pays more for cans than clean extruded? That's crazy. I think I got 90 something cents a pound the other day for extrusions. 70 for cans, 40 for clean. That's crazy because my yard probably only pays 40 for cans. I've never even seen what they pay for cans. You know, it's funny. He's talking about how much waste sheet metal jobs or scrap goes in the bin. One of the common things that goes on in the electrical world is not so much the owners, because it's usually coming out of their pocket, but the estimators will be in cahoots with the guys on the jobs, and they'll order 20 extra feet, 50 extra feet of 500 MCM or something, knowing they're going to get cuts, and then they'll take that and sell it as scrap. One of my customers actually fired someone. They were ordering 100 extra feet on these jobs, and they got busted. It's crazy. You know what else is crazy? Oliver, when he was going to college, he was telling me they would pull in all this wire, and at the end of the day, they would pull it all out and throw it in a dumpster. And then I think they were throwing it away. They weren't even, and Oliver even asked if he can take it. They wouldn't let him take it. Chop, chop, busy, busy, work, work, bang, bang. That's great. Your yard won't take cans anymore. They say it gets stuck in the shredder. Dag. Well, I know the yard I go to, they bail them. I think they got a huge press, man. You're not trying to, none of your beeswax are not trying to collect cans. Yeah, man. Cans are all kinds of saliva. People have been touching it. I don't know about all that, man. Lucky you didn't get those oxygen lines on hospital. Smokey, dude. I actually hit an oxygen line in a hospital one time. Again, we were in the basement at Bethesda Hospital in Boynton Beach. I was cutting through some 12-inch solid wall down there. We were cutting huge openings, probably 12 by 12. And we were track sawing it with a wall saw. And we couldn't have overcuts. And that means, like, you got your round blade to penetrate 12 inches. You have to cut 12 inches beyond your line to get the center of the blade to penetrate the corners. Well, you have two ways of getting around that. One, you core drill the corners, or two, use a chainsaw. And I asked the contractor, hey, man, can I chainsaw these? Is there anything behind? Oh, yeah, it's good to go, man. There's a gap between everything back there. And so we were running a 12-inch wall. I had a 15-inch bar on my chainsaw. And I was working all day. And I had this guy, this black day laborer. We used to hire day laborers to suck the slurry and remove the stuff to the dumpster a lot. So he's down there keeping the slurry from going everywhere. And I plunged this chainsaw in, and it just kind of drops into the wall. That the 2 extra inches or 3 inches, whatever. All of a sudden, like just an explosion of air. I didn't know what happened. I didn't know what kind of gas it was. All I know is I dropped my saw and I ran as fast as I could out of the basement to the contractor's trailer to let him know, hey, man, I just hit some kind of line. I have no idea what it was. And later on, I seen what it was. Behind the wall I was cutting, it was a small corridor, and it had every line for the hospital. All the gases and all the electric, everything was literally butted to the wall. And they told me it was like, a couple inches off. And that was crazy. Well, as I'm running up the steps, I hear something behind me. It's the guy that was running the vacuum. He's right on my ass, right? And then afterwards, I asked him, I'm like, dude, why'd you run like that? He goes, I don't know, man. He goes, I seen a white guy running. He goes, I was out of there. He goes, I wasn't sticking around. He goes, I knew something bad happened. Yeah, that was crazy, man. Um, yeah, good times, man. I actually loved that job because I got to use some of the coolest equipment. I got to just destroy stuff all day long. But down here in South Florida, it's not a right to work. It's a right to work state. So they don't, the same company up north, they would start them guys out at like $35 an hour. I started as like not knowing nothing at $10 an hour years ago, like 20, 24, 25 years ago. And then within a year, I topped out at $25 an hour. Like my boss was giving me raises every other month because, within 2 weeks, I was in my own truck making the company a ton of money and then outshining pretty much all the other operators because my work ethic, and I understood the equipment and I liked the equipment, you know. But they wouldn't pay me unless I went up north and got what do they call it, prevailing wages. I'd go out of town, I'd get $55 an hour or something working up north. But I didn't want to work up in the cold, cutting concrete with slurry dust. Screw all that. And that's one of the reasons why I left. I just got tired for years making the same amount of money. I mean, I make good money for being a guy in his 20s, but you know, screw that. Real old geekster. I try to watch all your videos to the end. Now on your normal ending to your videos, someone is flying down the street on a go-kart or something. Who was that? I like to watch your extras at the end. So that was a homemade drift trike that Big Show, my old landlord, made. It was actually cool, but extremely dangerous to ride. I actually did a video. There's a video of that thing, one of my early videos. And the dude riding it was Chris, which was his ex-wife's. It was like his grandson. But unfortunately, he had a battle with substance. We kind of had a falling out over it because I don't, for those of you who don't know, I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke cigarettes, nothing. I used to smoke herbs and drink when I was a teenager. I quit drinking when I was 19. And I ain't got a problem with that stuff or what anybody does. If it's not affecting your life or anyone around you. But when you start doing drugs that affect people around you, your ability to work safely, I got a big problem with that, So unfortunately, he's actually no longer with us because he lost that battle. And yeah, he was, and you know what? He was going to be my original editor. We were going to start a drone. I got a badass like $3,000 drone I've never even used. We were going to have a drone company together. It's really sad. Another one of those partnerships that never accounted or went anywhere because there was always something, man. You know, I had another guy that had an alcohol. Matter of fact, and I feel really bad about this. The original guy that showed me Transformers, okay, my first partner, I had to cut ties because he was an alcoholic, wanted me to do all the work, and he wanted to collect all the money. And I kind of had a problem with that. So I went my way and he went his way. For a whole year, I did nothing with the Transformers. Okay. Like I literally had barrels of Transformers in my backyard. When I cut ties, I'm like, I'm done with this. I didn't care. I just left them back there. The machine sat dormant in my shed out back. And you know, I went back to cutting concrete. I'm like, whatever, you know, you want to do drugs and drink all the time and make that a priority in your life, you can leave me out of it. It wasn't until 2008 when I went from working 60 hours a week to 20 that I kind of had to, you know, revisit the scrap thing. And then it just took off from there. Ah, man, so many comments here. Adam Reed with a $49 donation. Dag, man. To hear you say my name and say that crazy was priceless. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you guys just getting on here and commenting and interacting with me. You know what I really love about like the YouTube and the internet? I know like there's a lot of stuff out there on the internet that's just useless, you know, and there's a lot of people that are famous or they make a lot of money off it, but they're not really, in my opinion, the people. It's funny. Someone I know calls me an influencer. I don't think of myself as that. I think those people that consider themselves influencers, they're not providing anything of substance, in my opinion. I like interacting with you guys and hearing your thoughts on stuff and you know, just getting a different perspective on things, especially people like the fact that I can sit here and there's people from around, you know, on so far away in another country is just amazing. Um, let's see. Am I married? When do you sleep? No, I'm not married, and I barely sleep. Maybe once a week I'll get some good sleep. Find out where that dumpster is. Are you talking about the high school, the college? They used to let a low man on the pole have the scrap wire. Huh. Those guys in the robes and the sandals use basic tools to recover. Also, man, it's so funny when I get so many comments like, oh, wear safety glasses or wear gloves or, you know, this or that. And then I'll see a video of like these dudes in Pakistan or India. They're not even, they don't even have boots on, man. Sometimes they don't even have shoes on. And, you know, they're doing the same thing. Thank God I never smoke or drink. Yeah. Um, I mean, I don't condemn or, you know, I ain't got a problem. You know, like I said, man, if it's not affecting you, but they finally outlawed them. Outlawed who? Oh, the three wheelers. I think I missed a bunch of comments somehow. Trust me, those cats are helping with the mice population. Yeah, you know what? I've been here almost 3 years now. I've only seen one mouse in my shop. And I actually set up a trap and I killed his ass because he was like, I heard him up on one of these shelves. And a day later, I set some traps and that was it. Never seen another one. And it's probably because I leave my doors open a lot, you know, and if I'm working here at late, I have a cage on there. Um, but the cats, them cats walk through my shop constantly. You'll see them in my videos all the time, man. You know, I ain't got a problem with the cats. It's just like my main problem is the lady comes out here and she brings paper plates and like gives each cat its own little paper plate, but then drives away and leaves the paper plates blowing around the parking lot. And it makes it look kind of trashy, you know? Man, my phone's over here blowing up. Okay. Well, how long we been on here? Almost 3 hours. Wow. I was only going to get on here for an hour and talk to you guys. Where do you get those ratcheting clamps? What kind of ratcheting clamp? Are you talking about the are you talking about the welding clamp? This thing? This thing's actually really cool. I seen first time I seen one was on, I don't even know if this is what you're talking about, but first time I seen one was on Cutting Edge Engineer in Australia. I love that guy. They're not cheap either. I think that was like $80. They're different sizes too. I think this was a small. I bought the smaller one just to try it out. Last time I got oxygen, they sold it at the welding supply store. So now, unfortunately, every time I go there, I'm probably gonna have to buy one every time I go there because I really like them. Oh, the one behind me. Okay. Um, I can't even see how many people are in here. Yeah, so I mean, if you can get those, they're way better. I use those the other welding clamp. It's the same thing as those other welding things, except for this part is different. I'm like, my vice is tools. I'm a toolaholic. We're gonna do a video here. I'm gonna show, matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a video where I show all the tools I think a scrapper should have. And then I'm gonna show you guys all of my tools. Oh man. Then we got 122 people in here at what time is it? 11 o'clock at night? 11:30 at night on a Sunday? What time did I start the stream? 8:30? Wow. Tool time with PSF. Yeah. I love tools, man. You know what? And that's kind of like one of the reasons I started this chat. Well, there's actually the original reason I started a YouTube channel had nothing to do with scrapping, and I've never actually even. I'm 4 years into it, and I've never told you or showed you why I originally started a YouTube channel, which is kind of crazy. Um, um, but the reason I named it Project Shop, FL, the reason why there's an FL, because there was actually another YouTube channel that it didn't have anything there, and I probably could have just kept it Project Shop. Um, is I wanted to show like my journey to having the ultimate shop. Because when I was a kid, and like my stepfather and all his friends, or I grew up around people that had like their own little shop or a garage full of tools, and I watched these guys like do anything really, whatever they wanted to do, they had a tool for it. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, everybody's got to have, a guy should have all the tools to do all the things. And when I was a kid, I had a job as a mechanic. I literally did growing up. Um, I did literally every job you could, anywhere from mechanic work, carpentry, uh, roofing, tile, carpet, electrical work, framing, whatever, man, concrete work, running machines. I did a lot of running, which I really liked running machines when I was doing demolition, like tracos and jack hammers on the end of the traco, or even a bobcat with a hammer, or removal, stuff like that. I like that stuff. But like, I always wanted to do, like, I always said, you know what, one day I'm going to have a shop. I don't know what I'm going to do in that shop, but I'm going to have all the tools to do whatever I decide I'm going to do. And I'm probably 60% there, 70% maybe. I mean, I have a lot of tools, and like for the most part, I have enough tools to where I could do whatever I want. I mean, I got a bunch of woodworking tools that I don't even use because I don't really do woodworking, but I want to do some stuff with wood. I actually want to I want to incorporate some woodworking with the metal. When I was a kid, I actually made something um, out of wood when I worked at a restoration shop. I made something really cool for a customer. Um, and I want to do something similar like that for my customers with wood and scrap. And that's something we'll get into, and it's actually going to be pretty cool. That's another thing. Like, I got a list of stuff that I don't show on YouTube, or like ideas that I haven't put out there yet, because there's some snipers out there. They'll take your idea and run with it. I mean, I've even had, and this is what I guess I should have been more aware of, that this could happen, putting my customers out there. I've had people go physically show up at my customers, ask about me, and try to take business from me, try to get them as customers. Um, which is kind of grimy, but I can't knock them for trying. um, we're gonna wrap it up here. Let me just answer any more questions. If you got any questions, put it in now. We're gonna wrap it up here soon. Someone emailed me. Okay, I'll check it out. Oh, and in the future, I'm gonna try to pick a day. I know there's a couple other scrappers that go live. I don't want to um, I don't want to get in on their uh, the day that they go live. So I'm gonna pick a day. Maybe we'll go back to doing Saturdays That Saturdays is usually a day I catch up on a lot of work, and I bring in labor like Oliver or whatever. So doing the lives on Saturday was kind of like it was tough. So I don't know if I'm going to do it Saturdays, or I might just do it in the evenings like this. Um, but how much money to fill an empty space like your shop? How much money to fill it with what? Tools? I don't know, man. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I got through the barter system, or I got on an extremely low deal. Like like there's hardly anything that I've ever paid full price for, and uh, man, if you had to buy all the stuff that I have in here full price, I don't know, man. You're probably looking at like $100,000 or more. I got a lot of stuff in here, man. Lots of tools. Like, and then some of it, like this whole setup over here. Like, it's not nothing you could just buy. You're either gonna have to pay someone or build it yourself. And a lot of that stuff is not cheap. Like, I couldn't even imagine what it would cost to buy a setup like, what I call the Copper King. You're talking a lot of money. Just each one of my wire strippers is like $3,000 a piece. Um, Thanks for the super long live. Yeah, so I don't know, and you know what? It all depends on what you're doing. Now, for what I do, I don't necessarily need um I don't necessarily need all the tools that I have. Like I said, I just want to have all the tools the guy could have, man. And there's some there's some big ticket items that I want that are going to be I'm going to have to buy them. NFL season ends in 2 weeks. After that, Sunday evenings would be a good night for lives. Okay, maybe you should do a pod live pod. What is that? A podcast? You get most of your tools at auctions. Yeah, I love that. Uh, my mom can't believe you're in the 3 hours. I think I did like a 5 hour live stream one time. Well, like one of my first or second streams. It always starts out. I always try to just get on here for an hour, and it just doesn't work out that way. Um, the wire stripper is a boss. Yeah, my wire stripper is highly modified too, so it's not like you're just gonna go out and buy that thing. Um, you need a program that reads out comments and work. You could do this all day. Maybe. Uh, I always get a comment where people are telling me, "Oh, just put a live cam up while you're working." I kind of want to do that, but you're a trucker. You pulled 44,000 pounds of bear brait out of El Paso, taking it to New Jersey. What's in New Jersey? You know what? I think the guy next to the scrapyard I sell to, I think he sells his stuff to New Jersey to a chopper. He has a guy up there chop it for him, and then he gets paid off the recovery or something. Um, when you had nice junk on, It was kind of good. Maybe a guest like that would be a good sometime. Yeah. So if anybody wants to get on here when I finalize a day, I'm going to do live streams. Email me. I'd like to get a couple people on here to get some good banter going back and forth. Someone can keep it going. I can go over here and process some stuff. Maybe show you guys some other scraps. The live streams, like I don't ever feel like I try to clean off the table, but it wasn't very productive. I'd rather just get on here and talk to you guys. I guess I could just put like a camera up and we'll see how that goes. I don't know, but I definitely would like some people to get on here with me. So email me. I'll figure out a time, and we'll try to get it more consistent so people can get on and like I said, man, even other scrappers. I like other scrappers to get on here too because I like to know what everybody's doing, and they can tell me about the scrap in their area and what they're making money on, and maybe we can get into start talking about ways to get customers, because that's a huge thing, and I have some really good ideas. So can I do a split screen for guest appearances? Yeah, I can have up to 10 people on here, man. I pay the extra to one. I hope the stream is in like a good quality. I pay extra to have 1080 streaming live and up to like 10 people. Yeah, different ways to make money. So, okay, well, someone's getting antsy and blowing up my phone. So I'm going to have to call it here. I really appreciate all you guys for stopping by. I appreciate all the people that donated. That's incredible. That is definitely, I'm going to put that towards my hydraulic fund. And hopefully I can get over there and shoot some footage at the hydraulics place. And we'll get some good content. I always try to bring you guys. I hate doing repetitive stuff. I'm always trying to change it up, So, Joseph, yeah, I'll check out your email. Anybody else, email me, even if you just have questions that I didn't go over here. I try to check it regularly, but sometimes I'm just busy. It might take me a day or two. So where's Steve at? I'm not sure where he's at tonight. But he'll be around. You'll see him in an upcoming video. So again, thank you all for coming by on this Sunday. Hope you all had a great weekend. And we'll see you soon. I'll try to get the last video on the big stator out within a day or two. And yeah, have a good night. Thank you so much again for everybody that donated. I really appreciate that. That's incredible. And just thank you for everybody that came by and stopped in and chatted. I appreciate that. And we'll see you on the next one.